Hello everybody, this is Dr. Apurva Maheshwari and I have secured an All India IGO 143 in this NEET PG 2024 and I've been able to do so in my internship attempt itself. And before I start, I would like to thank you all for the great response that I got on my previous video. It was a very naive attempt at helping my juniors and it gives me immense pleasure to see that a lot of people found it very useful. And here I am again with one problem that I get asked the most, that is how to manage to do NEET PG preparation in internship itself. And what I've decided to do is that I'm going to list out all the important points and I would share examples from my own journey, and let's see how it comes out. Okay, so how to manage NEET PG preparation with internship. We have 4 pictures in front of us which I feel pretty much summarize how I went about my internship. I would get ready for work, go do my internship duties, see the patients, do whatever work is assigned to me, come back at around 5 and would sit down to study at around 5:30. I would study for a good 5 hours or 6 hours, and after that I'd spend some time with my friends. And this is basically everything I did for 1 year, and I'm very happy that the end results were great. So what I would say that is the most important is consistency. You have to strike a balance, but you have to study and take out time to study every single day. Now the first step, which I feel is the cornerstone of NEET PG preparation or for any exam preparation for that matter, is self-belief. You have to manifest, you have to give yourself positive affirmations every single day. You have to imagine yourself on the other side. It is integral to tell yourself that you can do it, and it's people like you who do it. Okay, I come from a private medical college and I see that students of private medical colleges have a lot of self-doubt in them, and all I want to say is if I was able to do it, you can do it as well. These are the 2 screen locks that I had: upgrade your life in silence and I can and I will. So every time that I would open my screen, my mobile, this is the first thing that would show up. And small things like these are also integral to keep you motivated. Okay, so keep yourself motivated, have good friends, have a good circle, people who uplift you, have a good mentor. And the first thing that you need to do is tell yourself you can do it. Okay, now the second step is make a solid plan, make weekly timetables, have buffer days, and make your own strategy. Now the first image that you see is from the day I decided that I will start studying in my internship as from that point. Now that is the first thing that I would say you should do as well. You should sit yourself down and ask yourself कि मुझे अभी internship में ही पढ़ना है या फिर मुझे वो 1 year अपने को देना है, internship अच्छे से करनी है और drop year में पढ़ना है. And that is a decision which is very individualistic. It depends on you. I know both kinds of people who take drop years and do very well, and then there are people who do it in internship attempt itself. What was my thought process behind it was that I'm not somebody who's good at dealing with stress. Okay, so what I thought that I'll study very hard in internship, and if God forbid things don't work out, I will at least have that drop year, because I'm not somebody who would be able to deal with the stress of the drop year. So that was my thought process behind it. You can have your own, so it is, your journey is tailor-made. It depends on how you want to do things. Okay, so the first picture is basically I saw it on Instagram that this is how the subject weightage is usually. Okay, I got to know that surgery and OBG and PSM are very, very high yield, and then the shorter subjects like anesthesia, psychiatry are not so much. So I decided that I'm going to pay more attention to the ones that are more high yield, and that is how I planned my further strategy like. Okay, then the second image is basically telling about the important questions that were repeatedly asked. So these were the PYTs. Okay, so I found these on Telegram, and I took a screenshot of these, and every time that I would revise the subject, I would go through these specifically so that at least all of my PYTs are covered. The next image is of somebody who I really liked on YouTube. So what we do is we go to YouTube for inspiration, and I found that in Joey ma'am. She got an All India rank of 7 in her NEET PG 2023, and she was an intern and above average student. You know, it was towards the end that she did so well, and if you look at her videos, you can see yourself in her, because she was struggling, you know, and she found her path, and then she was able to crack the exam with such a good result. So you need to find people who uplift you, you know, your mentors, who you can trust, who you can ask questions, right, and you can emulate. So that was me for her. So that is what I'm also saying, that, you know, watch videos, find what strategy works for you. Okay, then this is a video of Zena ma'am teaching on Unacademy. When I had started my prep, DTR hadn't launched. Okay, so ma'am was still teaching on Unacademy, and I saw one video of hers and I felt that it was super good. So I knew that I had to follow ma'am, because her teaching style really resonated with me. Okay, so you need to find your resource, your mentors, and figure out how you want to approach it. The next two pictures are just me chilling with my friends, and I think that is very, very important. You have to prevent burnout. You have to give your friends their due time. You know, this is your last year with each other, right? So please do have fun with them as well. Then number 3 is be open to changing in schedule. Internship is extremely dynamic. You're gonna have all sorts of postings. Some will be very, very hectic, and some will be very, very light. So you need to figure out that how will you approach the hectic postings. For instance, when I had my surgery and OBG postings, which were very, very hectic, I would usually do only my short subjects, which are not gonna consume so much time, and it would be okay, because then I only need to study 2 to 3 hours or even less, and I would still be able to do that subject well, right? And during my light postings like derma, you know, or emergency, in which we were only posted for 6 hours in a day, or like 5 hours in a day, I would do the more hectic stuff, you know. So that is how I approached it. Then fourth point, which might seem extremely selfish and will not come off as nice, is we need to understand that there is no award for being the best intern. You know, you have to understand that you need to take out time for yourself. Okay, you have to study. So just by doing scut work, you're not gonna learn much. Okay, so you have to learn how to sneak in time in internship, right? We have certain images in front of us. The first two are me just studying during my postings. Whenever I got time where I wasn't being called, I would go to the DDR, or I would go to, you know, whichever place I will find, even the nursing station, and I will just take out my iPad and study. Okay, and I know conditions will not always be conducive to studying, but you have to try to take out time whenever you can. You know, the third image is of a custom module, which what I would do is, if I'm taking a patient for reference, while I'm on my way to there, I will just solve a custom module. Even if I solve only 20 questions in one custom module, if I'm able to do 3 or 4 such questions, I would be doing quite a lot. References and lab work, again, if I had a reference, what I would do is that I would give my phone number to the patient, or the patient's the people with them, and I would say, the moment your turn comes, call me. Okay, then I will take them for the reference, and I will get them treated, and then I will leave them back in the ward. Okay, so you just need to find out time. By doing such things, I would be able to get at least 30 minutes for my studying. Okay, similarly with lab work, it can wait a little. You know, you don't have to get it within 5 minutes. It's okay if you take 15 minutes. So you have to find ways in which you can find time for yourself. Similarly, I'll just walk you through my day during my PSM postings. I would get ready. I had my telemedicine posting, so that's the bus that we used to take, and it used to take us to a nearby village, which sometimes even took like an hour or 1.5 hours to reach. So that was the best time to study. Okay, the views were beautiful, and that's exactly where I learned how to treat very basic ailments like cough and cold and tinea and whatnot. You know, we used to get patients with pedal edema there to make the differentials, you know, and then refer them to further centers and higher centers, and to to learn how to talk to a patient, to understand how to take history one-on-one. That was something that I learned during my PSM postings. That was the first time I saw a case of candidal intritigo. And another picture is of me studying during my telemedicine duties, right? So you have to learn wherever you can. I've learned so much just by looking at patients. Like, I can look at a tinea lesion and know this is tinea just because I was there present and seeing the patients. Then after my posting, I used to come back to the library and I used to study, and after that I used to hang with my friends. Another very important thing is to take GTs whenever you can, and you have to understand that you need to make a timetable. Internship can be overwhelming and the progress that you have in GTs is very slow. Okay, so you're not gonna do very well in the first GT itself. However, you need to stay consistent and your GT scores will grow. Then after that, you have to understand that you are making these sacrifices for your future. Okay, there will be times when there will be a lot of parties which you won't be able to attend, and that is okay. You have to understand that whatever you're doing is to build a better future for yourself, right? And your friends need to understand that as well. And there's something called JOMO, that is the joy of missing out, in contrast to the fear of missing out. Okay, so you will reach there once your preparation is in good pace. You will understand that it's okay to miss out on some things. Make your environment conducive for yourself. So I am somebody who really likes an aesthetic setup, an aesthetic room. So I had a little table which had all the cool stuff in order to, it just puts me in the mood to study. I was somebody who studied better at the library, so I had a spot in my library which nobody came and sat at. And towards the end, this is what my room looked like. It had so many sticky notes because I am somebody who's a visual learner. So every 15 days I just went through all the sticky notes so that everything is fresh in my head. Then stay consistent. It's very, very important to stay consistent. You don't have to study 10 to 12 hours every day, but you have to study every single day. It's okay if you study for 2 hours in a day. The ideal time that you should take out is at least 4 to 5 hours a day, but there will be days in which you won't be able to do it. So that is not something that should make you get disheartened. You need to figure out, you need to strike a balance that, okay, if I'm not able to study once in one day, I'm gonna make up for it in the next few days. Okay, so that's how you should go about it. What I saw during my internship, and it also how it helped during my exam. So the first picture that you see is of a patient with PSVT. She was a female. She came with a lot of anxiety, palpitations, and we took her an ECG, and that is what it looked like, characteristic of PSVT. And then the resident gave her a candle massage, and it was magical to see how her heart rate came under control. So that is a case that I saw firsthand, and I think I will never forget it because I saw it and I saw the ECG. The second photo is of an ERCP being done in a patient with gallstone induced pancreatitis, and it was exemplary to see it, right? Then the next one is of left bundle branch block. My professor used to sit me down in his OPD and show me each ECG and ask me, then I'm going to ask you which ECG is which, and then he used to say in a fun way that I'm not going to let you go if you don't tell them rightly. So that's where I learned how to see ECGs so well. Then the next is actually a patient with neurofibromatosis, and he's a post-op patient. He had a huge plexiform neurofibroma. You can see it's been operated and a drain has been put, and that was very fascinating because he had all the features that we study in neurofibroma. And then I went back home and I read about it and I read the criteria. So that's how I went about it. And the next picture is what I would do. I would see whatever case and then I would come back and I would read about it. So this is me. I saw an ECG of anterior wall MI. I came back, I read about it, I saw what it looks like that, and this was a boy I saw with nutritional deficiencies. Okay, and I have a really cool example to give you. When I was posted in cardiology, there was a patient we saw who had, there was an ECG of posterior wall MI, which we are usually not taught, and my professor taught me that. And the next day I did a custom module in which it came, and I was able to do it right. And then it also came in the INI exam, in the May INI CET. So what I saw in my internship helped me get those 4 marks, which were a rank maker for me, right? Then cath colors and biomedical waste management. I always thought that that the soiled glove goes into the yellow bin, but it actually goes into the red bin. And it was when I saw it being done in the hospital that I realized that, oh, the soiled glove also goes into the red bin. And the last one is, don't stop being in the process of becoming. This is a golden time. You need to strike a balance, make time for your friends, take out time whenever you can. You have to prevent burnout, and it's all about striking the balance. And that was it for today, guys. I hope you like the video, and all the best for your future. I know everybody's gonna do really well. And thank you for watching. Bye.